Hi ladies, I wanted to pop on here and do a short video. I did not do a live this week because I was in South Dakota, and I've had a bunch of thoughts just kind of swirling around in my head all week. And so I wanted to come on here and just talk about the importance of mindset and how having a good mindset will help you through your life, help you enjoy life, help you enjoy being a mom, help you enjoy being a wife. And I might do a longer, talk on it, a longer podcast on it in the future, but as you know, one of my favorite heroines is fake heroines is Anne of Green Gables. I just love her positive mindset when it comes to living life and her imagination, her fieriness, her stubbornness in some, aspects. I love the personality of Anne of Green Gables, probably because I see a lot of myself in her, and we tend to navigate towards the ones who we find similarities in. Some of her quotes are so good, though, and obviously this goes back to the author of Anne of Green Gables. She's the one who dreamt her up. But I love this quote that one of her most famous quotes is, "It's been my experience that you can nearly always enjoy things if you make up your mind firmly that you will." And I just love that thought because I have found the older that I get, I do not have a very optimistic nature. I wasn't born with it. Like, that's not my personality. So through the years, I have really had to work on reframing my mindset because I am someone who I've often called myself a realist instead of a pessimist. But I've really been working on that in the last 5-10 years of my life. I've really tried to mind over matter, just enjoy every phase that I'm going through with my kids, because I've learned the older that I get that life is very short and life is fleeting and we aren't promised the next day. And the Bible even talks about that. And there's principles throughout the Bible that tell us that. So, I have had to really work on just making up my mind firmly that whatever state I'm in, whatever season I'm in, whatever season of life I'm in, whatever season I'm in, literally, living in Illinois, that I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to make up my mind firmly that I'm going to enjoy it. One of the perks of winter in Illinois is snow. And as many of you know, a couple weeks ago, we went on a church tubing activity. And I had so much fun. I just prepared for it. I made sure I was warm, made sure my feet were warm, made sure my hands were warm, made sure my head was warm. And I had a blast. I had such a great time. And so did our entire church and my kids. We all enjoyed it. But that's just one of the things that living in Illinois, you have to make up your mind. I'm not going to allow myself to get in these mid-February. It's usually end of January, mid-February slumps. Now, in the past, it has been a harder time for me because for some reason, when you live in Illinois, that tends to be the time if you have a chronic illness or a disease, that's when you end up dying. And I really think it's because the days are shorter. It's kind of a depressing time of year as far as the weather goes. And so I've had a lot of losses that have occurred in my life, January, February, April, those early months of the year. I've had a lot of losses. So for me, it really does help mind over matter. And I've come up with some ways to help this. First of all, I have a lot of light in my house. I don't like a lot of darkness. I feel better when there's a lot of light. So we have installed extra lights, like in the kitchen especially. We put in 2 very bright lights, and then we installed another ceiling fan on the other side of the kitchen with a bright light. We also have put more lighting into our living room. I have a lot of lights around here. I've got lamps that I have several lamps around my entire room along with the overhead lights. So I try to have lots of light. I try to open the windows and have natural light. Also, if I know that I'm going to be consumed subconsciously even with thoughts of loss and, dates and things as they come, I will try to plan something to take my mind off of it, whether that's a trip or an overnight with my husband. Those things definitely help. But even when it comes to just different activities in my life, I have made up my mind that whatever I do, I'm going to enjoy it. And it doesn't matter if it's a trip somewhere that I'm, or a trip to the dentist or a trip to the chiropractor or whatever it is. I've made up my mind that whatever I'm going to do in life, I'm going to enjoy it, because who wants to spend their life miserable? Who wants to spend their life, wishing things away? Even when it comes to being a young mom and you have young kids, you can either spend your life wishing the time away. Oh, I can't wait until they're old enough to be out of diapers. Oh, I can't wait until they can help around the house more. Oh, I can't wait until I have a teenage daughter to help cook meals. Oh, I can't wait. We could spend our entire life saying, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. And we're missing all the joys and blessings right there with little kids. There's nothing like a newborn snuggle, even though they require so much time and so much work. That is such a small time where they're not going to be young very long. So just enjoy it. Soak it all up. Make up your mind that you're going to enjoy things, whatever that is in life. I am fully determined that I'm going to be a happy person. And I'm going to be a joyful person, and I'm going to be a content person. And because of this, I'm going to be happy wherever I live. I can't see God ever moving us out of Illinois. And yes, Illinois has its issues. Illinois has its problems, but God has put us here. There's people here that need us. We can do a work for the Lord here in Illinois. Illinois needs good churches. Illinois needs people getting saved. Illinois needs people dealing with the bad weather and all this, because we do have about 7 months of glorious weather. We have fall here. We have mild summers for the most part. We do get some hot days, but even those hot days are nice because we can enjoy it out, splash pads and sprinkler, water slides, different things like that. So every season has its perks with the real season as far as weather, but every season with your kids also has its perks. Every season of marriage has its perks. I have been married almost 24 years. I would never want to go back to the honeymoon stage. The honeymoon stage is wonderful. It had its perks when I was in it, but now that I'm in a deeper, more mature love, I would never want to go back to that love. But that's not to say I did not enjoy it when I was in that season of our marriage. So every season of marriage has had its perks. I feel like we're in one of the best seasons now because we have older kids and we can take short little trips together and, have the older kids here holding down the fort. I'm not worried about it. I'm not, obsessing about it. And that's another thing too. When you do something, put it in your mind, have it in your mind that you're going to enjoy it and you're not going to spend the entire time worrying about things that you have no control over. That's another thing I'm trying to learn. The older I get, the more I'm learning to just let go of the things that I cannot control and only focus on the things that I can control and leave the rest up to God. And here's some more Anna Green Gables quotes to end this little video, but I love what she told, Gilbert. I don't want sunbursts or marble halls. I just want you. And that's how I feel. When I was looking for, when I fell in love with my husband and I was looking for a man to spend the rest of my life with, I never looked at riches or wealth or fame or any of that. I looked at character and discipline and how godly he was and how close he was to the Lord and what kind of father he would be and what kind of husband he would be. That's what I looked at. And I found that man that has made me happy in all of those areas. So there are some quotes here though. The sun will go on rising and setting, whether I fail in geometry or not. And that's another reason I loved her. She was very imaginative. She wrote, she loved to write, compose things, but she wasn't very good at math. And she kind of stressed about it a little bit, but then she just came to the realization, you know what? Whether or not I fail it, the sun is going to rise or set. And that can, go along with anything that we're stressing about. Whether or not I have the money to pay this bill, the sun is going to set and it's going to rise again in the morning. So that just kind of puts things into perspective. And then, but one of my absolute favorite things is it's been my experience that you can nearly always enjoy things if you make up your mind firmly that you will. And then there was also one of the ones I'm trying to find the one that I really like. Looking forward to things is half the pleasure of them. And I think that's true too. And I heard this phrase the other day too that I've been using a lot. You always have something to look forward to when you have a big family. And that's true. You do. You always have something to look forward to. I have some very exciting things that I'm looking forward to with my own children this year. And you'll find that as your children grow up and get older, you have more benefits and blessings and things that you're reaping from, if you raise them right and if you have a good relationship with them. And I'm at that part in my life. So I always have something to look forward to now that I have kids that are married, I have kids that are getting married, I have kids in relationships. It's so exciting. And just hang in there. You are always going to have something to look forward to as your kids get older. but don't spend the time wishing time away. Don't spend your time miserable. If you have something that's not very fun, like going to the dentist, try to find the little joys in it, the witty things your kids say, different things like that. One of the funny things Kelly said last week was she was talking to her siblings, and one of them made her mad. And she said, "I can't wait to move out of this house when I'm older." And her sibling told her, "Don't say that. That will make mommy and daddy sad." And so Kelly said, "You know what? It was just a joke. It was a chicken cross the road joke." And so now that's kind of something that we are going to use to preface things. It's just a joke. It's just a chicken cross the road joke. So funny things, kids do funny things all the time. Just try to find the humor in it. Try to find the joy, try to just not wish time away. And whatever you're doing in your life, be fully invested. Enjoy it, whether it's just the simple things. It's a cup of coffee. It's a cup of tea. It's just the simple things. We had a very stressful day coming back, a lot of delays and uncertainties with our plane. And then come to find out, we were in the Minneapolis airport waiting on a Delta plane. We had a big 3 or 4 hour delay, and we found out about the Toronto plane crash that was out of Minneapolis on a Delta plane. So what are the odds of that? What are the coincidences? And that just made me thankful, first of all, that I had safe flights. I wasn't on any crashed airplanes. It made me thankful that the people survived. I was so glad to hear that they all survived. It made me appreciative of, the extra time it took to de-ice the plane, because maybe that saved us from a plane crash. I don't know. Maybe the delay saved us from a plane crash. I'll never know. But I just remember being finally on the second flight to Chicago. We were finally there. Everything was good. And I asked for hot tea. And I just sat there and I enjoyed that hot tea so much because we were on our way home. We were almost home to our kids. We were safe. We were warm. We weren't hungry. Our needs were met. And I enjoyed that cup of tea so much. And that's what I try to do with everything. I try to be intentional about enjoying whatever it is I'm doing, whatever the small pleasures of life are. I don't take them for granted. I enjoy it. We are not promised another day. So I'm going to live joyfully in the day that the Lord has given me, and I'm going to strive to enjoy anything I'm doing, no matter how small or how insignificant it is. And I'm also going to enjoy every season and every age that my kids are in. So I hope this has been a help. I think we all need to work on this. The older I get, the easier it's getting. So if I can be a help to any of you younger moms, that's why I'm here. And I'm telling you, I'm compelling you to enjoy the season, whatever season it is of being a wife. Enjoy whatever season it is of being a mom. Enjoy whatever season it is in the weather in your area. Just don't be whining. Don't be complaining. Enjoy the perks of each season. Enjoy the perks of each season of life that you're in. So I hope this has been a help. I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. So we'll see you then.